In this After Effects tutorial, I'll show you how to create this glitchy tech title animation. Hi, my name is Manuel. It'll take a few basic animation techniques, some standard effects and just a bit of time, so stick around. And let's dive right in. I've already created a title comp, added some text. I used BIOS Sans bold, size around 100 pixels, tracking 350, centered. Now we create another comp by dragging the title comp on the comp symbol in the project window. Name the new comp Title Animation. As I usually do, let's start with the ending. We move the start point of the title comp to 24 frames. We head over to the Effects and Presets window and add Venetian blinds. We set the transition completion to 80% and set a keyframe at 24 frames. Then set the direction to 90 degrees, width to 24. We go to 28 frames and set the completion to 40%. At 30 frames, we set it to 0. At 42 frames, 0. At 43 frames, 80% again. At 45 frames, 50%. At 46 frames, back to 0. Let's add CC block load. Go back to 24 frames and set completion to 2. Scans to 16. We set a completion keyframe, then press U to see all keyframes. We move 1 frame to the right, set completion to 1. Then to 3, to 4, back to 2, and then to 9. At 30 frames to 100. At 42 frames, 0. Then 1, 3, 6, then back to 100. Alright, these numbers are kind of random, it just needs to look different each frame. Now let's add CC scale wipe. Set stretch to 45, the direction to 90 degrees. At 24 frames, we set the center to the right of the screen center. Set a keyframe. At 30 frames, we move it left. Like that, maybe. At 31 frames, we move it back to the right, out of the screen. At 42 frames, we set another keyframe. Then we move it back into the screen. 2 frames later, we move it to the center. At 46 frames, back out of the screen. Awesome! Let's add some more elements. With no layer selected, we double-click on the star tool up here. We open the Polystar Path property and set points to 4. Rotation to 45 degrees, inner radius to 0, and outer radius to around 140. No fill, stroke wide, 15 pixels. Then we change the length to 2 pixels. And name it cross. Then we move it to 22 pixels. Duplicate it and move it to 70 pixels. And move the endpoint of the title comp to the left. Duplicate the cross 2 more times, move one to 10 frames, the other one to 16 frames. In case you're wondering why I know where to put them, I planned and figured out the animation before recording this tutorial. Now let's set up the beginning. We use the title in action save, and with no layer selected, we grab the pen tool and draw a vertical line from the top center to the bottom. Let's name it line. No fill, stroke wide, width 2 pixels. Let's open the path property. We set a path keyframe at 4 frames. Then go to the beginning and move the 2 points of the line to the center. And add easy ease in to both keyframes. Then we rotate the layer 45 degrees. Alright. With no layer selected, we double-click on the rectangle tool this time. Name the layer point. Add a white fill. No stroke. We open the path property and check constraint proportions and set the size to 15 pixels each. Then we duplicate it. To link the 2 points to the line, we select the line path, go to Window, and select the Create Nulls from Path script. And select Nulls follow points. Then we link each one of the points to one of the new nulls. Now we need to set the position of the 2 points back to 0. Awesome. Finally, we split all the layers at 10 frames. Shift-Command-D. Move them up. Let's organize some stuff quickly. Move these down. The second part 2 frames to the right. Let's move the second cross to the top. And rotate the second line -45 degrees. Now we need to relink the 2 nulls. Go into the expression and replace the layer name in quotation marks. Go into the position property and change the name in both expressions to line 2. Split them once more at 16 frames. Move them up and again 2 frames to the right. Relink the nulls. The name in quotation marks should now be line 3. Then we open the path property of the line 3 layer, move the second keyframe to 18 frames, the first keyframe to 22 frames, and set the endpoint at 22 frames. Awesome, almost there. One last thing, let's add one more layer of detail. We add a new solid, white, and name it mask. Move it above point 2 and hide it for now. We grab the pen tool to draw a mask along the line, then right out of the screen, then back to the upper point. That's the shape. We adjust the start and end point, 6 and 10 frames it is. Then we take the title comp and move it below. Adjust the endpoint, then scale it up to around 160%. Activate Continuously Rasterize and move it to the top of the line. Then we set Track Matte to Luma Matte. Then we add CC Reptile and expand it down. Next, we add CC Scale Wipe. Set Stretch to 45, Direction to 90 degrees. And move the center to the left. Set a keyframe, and after 2 frames, move it further to the right. We duplicate the 2 layers, move them up above point 4 and move them to 14 frames, and adjust the endpoints. Then we need to adjust the mask shape. Set Track Matte to Luma Inverted Matte. Delete CC Reptile. And move the title down to the center. We set the direction of CC Scale Wipe to -90 degrees and adjust the center point. Move the second center keyframe to the right and again adjust the center. By the way, change the text in the title comp without messing up the animation. Very convenient. On the left side, I've added some videos you might like. Subscribe to my channel on the right side and ring the bell to get notified when my next video is coming out. Thanks so much for watching, I really appreciate it. See you in the next video. Bye!